Hello friends and family, welcome back to the show. First, before I begin, I want to thank my producers, Shay Production. If you guys haven't already, I do another podcast called Draken's Station. It's available on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. If you haven't already, we're already on episode 7. Please check us out. Last time when I did the last video about podcasting, some of you guys had some good questions, and maybe some of you wanted to do podcasting but didn't know where to begin, so maybe I can shine some light. Now, if you guys are interested in podcasting, just know there's gonna be some money involved. You're gonna have to spend some money, and when people ask me how much should I spend, I just want to be as honest as possible. And the problem with me is when you guys want to embark in a project, I always think long term and not just short term, because if I tell you short term, sure, you can buy a bunch of cheap stuff, but it's just not going to last, and eventually you're going to probably want to upgrade, and then you're going to have to end up spending more money. I would just advise that you save up the money and then just think about what you want your podcast to be, what kind of identity, because there's a couple of things you need to think about when you get into this career or hobby. So first and foremost, you're gonna need a good mic. The mic I use right now, this one right here, it's a baby body mic, and it's about $4.99. And the thing about these XLR mics, I don't have a adapter, but these XLR mics, what you're gonna need to buy is a recorder that takes that has a preamp, because you're gonna have to power these mics. These mics need phantom power, and once you get a recorder, you're all set. You can start recording. Now, if you want video to go with that, that's just another can of worms you gotta think about too, right? You're gonna need cameras, okay? So how many angles do you want? You want one angle? You want two angles? So the more cameras you have, just be mindful that the more editing you're gonna have to do, and the more powerful your computer is going to have to be, right? Now, a lot of podcasts, they like to upload in 1080p because it's a smaller file and it's so much easier on your computer to edit that. Me, I wanted to step up the game, so I wanted to do it in 4K, which people said I'm crazy, you're gonna eat up a lot of hard drive space, but you know what? I want to future-proof this, you know? I want to do good content. I want to invest, and I want to take the time. I want to make it visual pleasing and also make it sound great, right? Because the footage can suck, but the audio unfortunately cannot suck. That's one thing, has to sound good. And what I like about this baby bottle microphone, you have a little, what they call a pop filter, which is this little screen right here. So when I say any words that start with a P, you don't hear that pop, 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 pop. That's why they call it pop filter. And it's one of my favorite mics, especially if you're into singing. I think this is a really good mic. This is a condenser mic. So a condenser mic, you just got to be mindful. So anything around this area, like if I'm typing on a keyboard, you're going to hear it. Like, for example, you're gonna hear it, so be mindful of that. Condenser mics are great because I feel if you're in a treated environment, you're gonna sound the most natural. It's just gonna sound clean, straight out of the box, and that's what I'm about. I want to set you guys up with things that if you want to get started straight out of the box, when you plug and play, it's just gonna work, and you're just gonna sound amazing, because there's so much technical that goes into a professional anything, right? And I realized that a lot of people, you know, they want to do it, and then the technical things come up, and then it scares them a little bit, and then they shy away from it, and then never end up doing it. So if you have about $1,200 to spend, you can definitely get a good mic, a good preamp mixer / recorder, and start recording. But if you want to add visual to it, you're gonna have to spend whatever camera you choose. Now, all cameras are not created equal, and not just the camera, okay? You're still gonna have to spend some money on lighting. Lighting is what makes the visual look good. And I'll give you an example, okay? So I'm gonna turn off my key light so you can see the rim light, which is giving me a silhouette to separate my body from the background, okay? So here it goes. So you see this? This is actually called rim light. So what it's doing is it's cutting me out, separating myself from the background, okay? That's just one light. And then you add the key light, which is the main light. And this light, as soon as I could turn it on, okay. Having some technical difficulties. I don't even know what happened. Hold on, guys. What happened? Okay, that was weird. All of a sudden, the remote just doesn't want to respond. But that's what production is about, man. It's about, you know, knowing what it takes to get a good image. So a lot of people buy expensive cameras thinking, you know, I'm gonna get this fantastic footage, and what they don't realize is that that's where the cinematography skills come in. You know, how you light the subject. You gotta you gotta know the difference between soft light, hard light. You know, I'm not gonna go into depth with that, but once you get it all figured out, get a couple good lights. And good lights aren't cheap. Good lights aren't cheap. A lot of people invest in I saw some lights on Amazon, and it was like this lighting kit for like, I think $200. It comes with a soft box and some fluorescent lights. And to be honest, I don't recommend those. I think it's a waste of time. It looks good, it sounds good, but I wouldn't do it. But that's just me. All right, guys. Maybe on my next video, I'll probably just do some B-rolls and show you guys my setup. Maybe that would help you. And I'll give you the cost for a breakdown if you want to go this route. Just know you're gonna have to spend some money. But for me, I always tell people, if I'm gonna put money on me, if I'm gonna bet against myself, I'm gonna get everything top notch that I can afford, and I'm gonna run with it, because I'm looking to do this long term. I'm looking to do this for a living, and I don't want to be upgrading in 6 months, upgrading in 1 year. I just want to rock and roll, and I want something that works. I want something that's just gonna be straight out of the box, gonna make me sound good, so I can do less in the editing room, because you know, I want to eventually do a video a day. The only problem is when you're editing 4K 2 cameras, it just takes so much computer power and hard drive space. And then on top of that, I have to color grade it to make it look pretty. I do all those behind the scenes. That way, when I'm recording and talking to you guys, you know, you just can enjoy that content. All right, guys, that's enough for me today. I could talk forever on this subject, but you can't learn it all in one day. So tune in next time. And I want to thank my producers, Shay Production. Oh, and before I go, I have another Instagram I want you guys to follow. It's called Masquerade, MASK_AID. And if I'll put the link right here. And if you haven't already, please follow, because we have over 70 masks, and we have more mask choices than Baskin Robbins has flavored ice cream. So make sure you guys follow me on that. And thanks again, guys. Take care.